welcome to the show. The Daver here.
What up? I'm Chad.
And Chandler's back this time again as well. What's going on, Dave?
Hey, we got the whole crew back. We are coming off of a AEW Dynamite held in Minneapolis, Minnesota, from 11/29/23. We got the Continental Classic continuing. We had all Gold League matches tonight. They were all great. I'm into the whole tournament. I'm into the matches having consequences. I'm into the fact that they're focusing on trying to keep every match a clean win. Nobody at ringside. They're trying to give it a little bit of uh, prestige, I guess. How'd you feel about the episode, Chandler?
I thought it was a really fun one. Just a lot of really good bell-to-bell action. And then the two major promos, one I thought was pretty good, one I thought was fairly kind of just so-so, but we'll get to there when we get there. What did you think, Chad?
Yeah, it was a good show. I'm hoping that maybe AEW is kind of remembering what put themselves on the map, which was we do good wrestling. So hopefully they're going to concentrate on that a little more. Because like the matchups they had tonight kind of reminded me a little of when they first started, which they would just be like, okay, I just want to have these dream matches tonight, and we don't really need a big reason. Like, just throw them all in a tournament and watch some good matches. I'm pretty happy that's going to be the focus for the next, I don't know, month or so. How about you, Dave?
I'm really enjoying the flow of the tournament. They had, I think, really the right people in the tournament. I might have, maybe flip-flopped a few people. But yeah, even Garcia and Jay Lethal, I feel, are worthy of being in the tournament, even though they're not doing too great.
They're the pin eaters.
I think there's only one whole person in this entire tournament that I would take out, and one person I would slot right in. You want to know who it is?
Yeah.
This is my big bold pitch. No dishonor to him, no shame. I'm not the biggest Jay Lethal fan. I haven't seen him a lot, and his match has always been the least good of all of these Continental Classic matches on Dynamite. So I would take him out, and I would also get rid of, eliminate the Continental title that doesn't exist. You put Orange Cassidy in his spot. You put the International title in that spot. You combine those three belts instead of just making a new one. And if you don't like that idea, I'm just going to bring up where has Orange Cassidy been since Full Gear? And that's it. Where's he been? What's he doing? And I mean, it gets rid of the International title, but at least I think that's still better than adding a new one.
Go ahead, Chad.
Oh, no, after you.
I don't love that they're gonna have a belt called the Continental Championship. I really loved the, All Atlantic, or the what do they call it now? What they level it up? The
International.
I liked that it didn't even sound like Intercontinental, but now compared to the Intercontinental belt, I just don't think it was a good move.
That's my only. Sorry for cutting you off, Chad. That's my only real controversial opinion of this. Is I was just kind of thinking I'm always pitching shit how to make things a little bit better, because I'm past the point of, well, this should have been a tournament for the world title. I'm move past that. That's over and dead. We're in this new era, so I would just say, well, don't make another new title. Instead, maybe that would actually be one AEW title with some lineage, a New Japan title with lineage, and then the Ring of Honor world title. which of course has lineage. But I don't know. That's all I thought. What were you thinking, Chad?
Oh man, yeah, you guys kind of basically just said it for me, anyways. Yeah, it's interesting, but yeah, it's also kind of a little still on the convoluted side. But who cares? The matches are great, and I think I don't really care so much about what's at stake so much as like all these like little stories that are coming out of it now, like
Yeah.
Eddie's crisis of confidence. Is Mox just going to run through everybody? Is Brian Danielson just going to run through everybody? Or are other guys going to step up? Like shoot, Roosh, that dude could sneak through and go deep or take the whole thing.
Yeah, I agree. I'm kind of at that point where like don't really care about the stakes. I'm just enjoying what's going on right now.
Yeah. I know I'm stuck on the name of the belt, but it should have been a trophy, if anything.
Wrestling
Uh,
trophies
or if
go
they
hard.
or if they had to have a belt, call it the Triple Crown Championship, but
I
don't
think
call
that
it
is
the
what they're gonna
Continental
do.
Championship.
I think that is what they're gonna do. I think at the end of this, it will be called a triple crown. Like I think it will be the triple crown. But again, I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
We'll figure
But
that out in a month.
anyway, yeah.
1 month from
Anyway,
today.
overall, I love the tournament. I every match has been exhilarating and yeah, quite the spectacle. I'm definitely rooting for Swerve. I want him to win it, but if he doesn't, my backup would be Roosh to take the whole thing. I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing from Mark Briscoe. One hell of a singles competitor, unfortunately now. But yeah, he can really go. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into match number one of the night. Gold League match for the Continental Classic. John Moxley versus Jay Lethal. Uh, kind of the trend of the match. We got Jay Lethal going after John Moxley's knee after he hurt it. We get a big elbow drop for a 2 count from Jay Lethal to Moxley. We get Jay Lethal doing a dragon screw from the top rope to John Moxley, which really liked that. We got Moxley hitting the paradigm shift and a King Kong lariat, then a pile driver for only a 2 count. That was kind of cool. Lethal kicking out of that. And we finally get a rear naked choke on to Jay Lethal for the win. We got Moxley getting another 3 points, giving him a total of 6. Yeah, great match. Jay Lethal definitely a little bit out of his league in my mind against John Moxley, but yeah, good to see him anyway. I've been a fan of Jay Lethal since the woo off with Ric Flair. So yeah, kind of a cool thing. Uh, how do you feel about John Moxley taking this one, Chad?
Um, Pretty good. Yeah, the match was actually for me more competitive than I thought it would be. I thought we were going to see a Moxley steamroll, and the beginning ended up being really very technical. And like I said, I thought Jay got way more in it than Mox would have normally let him. I feel like with all the other things going on, maybe Mox's aura or has kind of diminished, or he's turned it down to sort of let everybody else take over because he's had that company on his back for so long. To me, he's kind of just starting to feel like just another dude now and not like the demigod he used to be. Um, but still, and then just as I'm thinking that, then all of a sudden he turns it on and hits the dude with a paradigm shift and that lariat, and you're like, oh nope, never mind. There he is. That's the guy I was waiting for. What do you think, Chandler?
I kind of agree with you, Chad. after Full Gear, now I wouldn't say something like Moxley was buried. That's stupid and idiotic, but a little bit of his like, oh shit, this is John Moxley. That aura is a little gone. Like, is a little bit diminished since he lost pretty cleanly to Orange Cassidy. And again, I'm kind of saying like, where's Orange Cassidy been? He hasn't been on the past two Dynamites or the last Collision. Maybe he's been on Rampage, but I don't watch Rampage. So again, back to what I was saying, maybe you just have Moxley win it, and now the international titles in this. I don't know, but the match itself was pretty damn good. I especially loved the ending, just that pure speed of Moxley getting the kick out and then going, "All right, well, I'm just putting you in a fucking choke." Sorry, flippin' choke. We're gonna try to censor ourselves, folks, but he puts him in the flippin' bulldog choke and ends it quickly. I thought that was a really good, nice ending to the match. I like the sense of urgency these guys tend to have when they're like, all right, 5 minutes left. They're like, oh, I need to end this now. So that's a really nice thing that I've liked so far.
Something I kind of like about the whole tournament also is the balancing act that they're doing with, say, Garcia, Lethal, maybe even Mark Briscoe to a certain degree, of the matches have to be competitive. So a byproduct of that is they're building new stars in Jay Lethal, Garcia, and Mark Briscoe. So they're going to come out of this looking great. They're going to be built up to take on bigger names moving forward.
I'd like to share that optimism with you. It's like the optimism I'll always have for AEW, but it's also like, well, what happened to Takeshita after he pinned Kenny Omega twice? Nothing. What's happened to Powerhouse Hobbs since he destroyed Jericho? Not much. So I want to have that same optimism of, Jay Lethal and Daniel Garcia and Mark Briscoe will be bigger stars and maybe they'll just be more over with the fans. But I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good point. You're like the heel that makes good points today, Chandler.
I hate to I don't want to be like this, but that's the one thing I'll say is like, where's Takeshita been, guys? Where's he at? I miss my boy.
Yeah, and Hobbs.
Yeah, at least he
Although,
was in a promo. Like,
yeah, although I guess QTV is not going to be a thing anymore. So now he's never going to get on TV.
I know Dave is devastated with that
Rip.
information. I know you had to take a couple days and like calm down. There'll be a WWE in no time.
Yeah, he will. He's still some kind of champion in AAA too, oddly enough. But yeah, I didn't enjoy anything QT Marshall offered the viewers. So, yeah. After that, we get a Eddie Kingston promo. He talks about he got too cocky, putting up, all the championships. Uh, he's got Bryan Danielson next, and he needs to focus on that and heal up. Uh, yeah, definitely kind of threw a wrench in everyone's belief that, oh, Kingston's gonna take the whole thing or, get to the finals. So yeah, that definitely swerved me. Yeah, what do you think about the promo, Chad?
Oh, I loved it. That like beaten serious Eddie with was like, I don't know, for some reason really resonated with me. I went from like, cool, another tournament to, oh, like I'm all of a sudden like immediately emotionally invested. I love the humble in victory, humble in victory, humble in defeat line, and then contrast the promo right after it. Like it's just immediately now I'm like, oh shoot, I need the next round. I need to know who's going to get some points. What's going on? Like, yeah, the went from pretty interested to, oh, this could be freaking amazing. Haha. Chandler?
Well, it did what it's supposed to do, and it makes me want to watch the next episode of Collision because, I mean, like you guys were saying, I think a week or so ago, I said Eddie Kingston doesn't really vibe with me. I just don't love his matches. And you guys were telling me that he's more of a promo guy. And this definitely sold it. Like, he feels like he was like, yeah, I came in guns blazing and got my ass whooped. So now I got Bryan Danielson, who I don't know. I think there's only one person who's going to win the Gold League, and that's the guy who's about to face Eddie Kingston next week or on Collision.
I hear
So,
that guy's pretty good.
yeah, something like that. I think he's a half decent wrestler. So, but it makes me really excited for this match. And I'll pose another quick question to you guys. Does Eddie get the upset here? Does he get all fired up? Is he like, you know what? I believe in myself. Took his bad lump on the first round and wins it all in the end. What do you guys think?
I don't know. I think he goes down 2-0, then goes into desperation mode, and then he picks up all his wins and maybe makes it to the final.
If we can get him off of Ring of Honor and back in AEW, I'll take whatever I can get.
Well played.
He's on it now.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Very good. Yeah, then we get a little impromptu fiery, passionate promo cut by Bryan Danielson at commentary. That was kind of cool to me. He definitely ready for the match. You know, he talked about having his orbital bone broken in 2 places, and yeah, definitely looking forward to him coming back. Hopefully, he can stay healthy long enough to finish the tournament.
Well, he's going to have to fight Andrade again, who, injured him the first time around. So hope that works out.
Yeah.
I hope they play into that.
Oh, me too. Yeah, I love it when Brian gets fired up. Like, that dude's just a little force of nature. I kind of hope he wins the whole tournament, but at the same time, there's so many other interesting ways they can go too. Like Swerve. Although I kind of think all of a sudden he'd be saddled with those belts, and that'd be could be a detriment. It's like, nah, you should probably be going on to the world title picture.
Yeah, that's why I don't want Swerve to win, because it's like he'll win all those belts, and God, it'll look great to see him with all those belts. But then it's like, okay, well, he's got belts I don't want him to have, and now I don't want him to lose them because then it sucks to have a short reign. So
Yeah.
it's like, ugh. That's why I'm kind of just taking this all at face value for now. Like, I'm just going to enjoy the matches and look forward to the next week's matches because I already don't like the stakes.
Maybe Jay White would be the most logical booking for winning the tournament.
He's my number 2.
Throw it on
put
a
it
heel.
like,
He's a smarmy bastard.
Put it like, he's got experience with those types of tournaments, and hey, that could quell maybe some of his actual apparent heat right now with his booking. So
he is my number 2, like, personal favorite pick to win this whole thing. Like, what you could do is like have Jay win all the rest of his matches and maybe have all your top dogs like Swerve and Mox just pie a lot.
Yeah.
That would push Jay ahead, push them back. Like, you could book it that way. So I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, especially after last night. I've always been kind of like, okay, I know he's in there. I've seen some of his New Japan stuff. Then like his 2 tournament matches, I'm like, oh yeah, this dude is the real deal. I'm so glad he's on to this now. It's kind of funny how some people you're like respecting more than some more. You're like, well, I love Swerve, but at the same time, I don't like him being in the tournament. Like,
I just don't want him to win.
Yeah.
If the prize was a shot at the world title, I'd be championing in the streets with a Swerve shirt and 2 signs. I'd be like, Swerve for Continental Classic. He's gonna win, boys. Like, I'd be all out on the streets. But because it's this complicated Triple Crown title, no, I don't really want him to win it. Like, I want him to win the top prize. The top prize.
It's so funny that you're like, this guy I love, I really want him to lose just so he can go do cooler stuff. It's a strange failure, but at the same time, it's like I still love the tournament. Like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
it's
And I
such a
still want
weird,
I still want Swerve to win
like
because I still love Swerve. So
it's such a weird paradox that they created. Like,
again, that is why I'm just taking this at a face value and like, oh, I wonder what's next. What match is next? And then they'll get to the end, and I'm like, oh,
yeah,
Yeah, kind of like what you said, Chad. Like Swerve winning the Triple Crown wouldn't be a stepping stone. It could possibly be a hindrance and hold him down. So yeah, I kind of feel what you're saying there. Yeah, I'm rooting for Jay White now. I've just rationalized in my head.
yeah, baby. I'm a white apologist, a
yeah.
Jay White
Yeah,
apologist.
Have him and Adam Cole ever had a singles match? They must have.
I'm not sure.
Because
Yeah.
like
Yeah, they
they're
had to have.
both such good counter wrestlers. Like that is a matchup I would actually love to see.
Weren't they at a Forbidden Door? It was like a fatal 4-way.
Yeah, that's why I mean singles match. They were
Yeah.
involved in that, and then he got concussed. Yada yada yada. But I
Um,
think they'd have such a good singles program.
I'm looking it up right now. Let's see. Jamie, can we pull this up? I'm only seeing I'm seeing 2 videos from a week ago and then only stuff about the 4-way, so I don't think so.
Huh, cool.
Gotcha. Well, moving on, we've got Tony Schiavone in the ring, or actually backstage, with Sting and Ric Flair. We find out Sting's last match will be at Revolution on March 3rd in Greensboro, North Carolina, at the infamous Greensboro Coliseum, where Sting and Ric Flair had a 45-minute commercial-free banger of a match. And yeah, Ric Flair put over Sting. He kind of looked either drunk or emotional. You can't tell really nowadays. But yeah, um, did either of you hear about what he said in a promo on the Rampage after Dynamite?
Yep.
You did, Chip?
I did not.
So I might be paraphrasing, but he essentially said, any females around the age of 18 to 23, come to my hotel room tonight.
Ew.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. What did you think of that, Dave?
Cringe.
Yeah.
Like I know they're trying to harken back to the old
He's like 80.
profiling and blah 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 Ric Flair, but it doesn't work
He's old
nowadays. You
balls.
Yeah. No, his liver is probably like the liver of a 160-year-old man. But yeah, no, my notes I just said it felt like they weren't going to let him talk because they both Tony and Sting were just like kind of going back and forth, and I was like, oh, maybe they won't let the creepy old guy talk. They let the creepy old guy talk.
It felt like a Joe Biden promo. Like, you ever see those memes where they just take a unedited Joe Biden speech or like a debate and they just mime out what he's saying? And that's what's funny because it's like, what the flip is he saying?
Oh,
If I just do that every single time, I'll remember it better. But what
they
the flip?
might gonna have to start bleeping stuff.
we could
Anyways.
come up with a funny sound effect.
Ooh.
Put over it.
Like a bell
Oh,
dinging?
ring bell.
Some.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Anyways, so there was a time where he was like, commercial free, 45 minutes, Greensboro. And it's like, are you cutting a promo on the stadium, the city?
The past?
And so I've said enough about my opinion on Ric Flair. I don't like him. I don't want to see him. And so I didn't like the segment. That's kind of all I had to say. It just felt rambly.
I got the thumbnail for the video.
What?
It's Ric Flair. a wrestling poster, Ric Flair versus the past.
Book it.
The bucket
Okay.
Tony, bucket Con. Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
that's my low of the night, by the way. I'm just gonna pin it.
gotcha. Well, after that cringeworthy moment, we've got another match in the Continental Classic. The Gold League, Roosh versus Mark Briscoe. What a chop fest, man. They were loud. They were echoing through the whole arena. Uh, these two guys were evenly matched. They were made to wrestle each other. Um, it made me wonder if they had ever met in Ring of Honor, and if they had, I'd like to see some of that
Yeah,
at
maybe
some
him and
point.
Jay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Roosh was world champion for a good minute. So, yeah, what a match! What a couple competitors here. Uh, we get Roosh doing his patented slamming the opponent into the guardrails around the ring. We get Mark Briscoe doing the elbow drop off the apron onto the floor. A little homage to Cactus Jack there. Uh, um, did you guys catch that part where Mark Briscoe's gum falls out of his mouth
I thought it
and he
was a
just
tooth
picks
or
it up?
something. So
He
I was
just
like,
picks it up. Bleh.
yeah, I was like, oh my god, a tooth fell out. He got chopped so hard, and then he just like ate it up. And I was like, I don't think that's how teeth work, guys. So now that like I heard one podcast, and they're like, oh, it was gum. I was like, oh, thank God. I'm so glad it wasn't like his teeth.
That would have surprised me if it was a tooth, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's getting chopped so hard by Roosh. One of them lands a little too, hits the chin.
Yeah. Commentary definitely laughed when he did that, which made me laugh even harder.
Well, they were going to
Uh,
commercial, and then they just see him do that, and they're like, oh, well, we're going to commercial now.
but yeah, evenly matched competition here. Uh, at one point, Roosh tweaked his leg. We get Roosh kicking out of the froggy bow, but Roosh overcame and hit the bull's horns for the win. Uh, we get Roosh with 3 points now in the Continental Classic. Yeah, great match. You know me. Any match with Roosh, I'm all for. Mark Briscoe nowadays, one of my favorite uh, upper mid card talent right now on AEW. Yeah, nothing but good things. How do you two feel about it?
I always love the really tough physical ones. That spear that Briscoe did out of the corner. Oof, that looked great. So yeah, him and Ricky Starks are both allowed to use the spear now. So that's cool.
Mhm.
uh yeah, then that spill he took to the outside, that apron move, like kind of was almost like a backdrop or a Beal. That bump looked awesome. Yeah, it was one of those like just happy violence, kind of like when Box was, year ago. Like it was like that kind of thing where it's like I could watch these dudes just come out and do this every week. I wouldn't even mind. I think maybe one of the stories that might come out, because they'll all have their own like little stories, is going to be, is Mark going to hit the J Driller? He's went for it in each match now, and they always reverse out of it. I think that'd be cool if he got a big win by getting to use his brother's old move. What do you guys think?
Well, I was gonna say, here's my question: Is do you guys think Mark Briscoe will win a match in this classic? Because he's lost to Mox and Roosh so far. So I'd love him to win a match or two. I mean, he'll probably beat Jay Lethal, so
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
something.
yeah.
But yeah, I think that would be a really good story to tell is the one time he actually does hit the Jay Driller. He just wins. He pins and wins. And you could say it like,
Yeah.
he's, they banned everyone from ringside, but not everyone's gone.
Ah,
Mark's still getting help. Like,
you just got me in the feels.
wouldn't that be good though? God damn it, Mark Briscoe to win this stupid tournament now. Book it, Con. Book it, Con.
Okay.
But yeah, like you guys were all saying, this was a really hard-hitting match. I mean, you can tell when they start off a match in the first second and they're just chopping each other's tits off. This is great. One thing I was noticing, like typically when you do all these chops, the crowd goes, ooh, or like, oh, like, wow, that's big move. But this one, they were kind of like, oh, stop, too hard. So I thought that was a pretty fun little bit from the crowd. But all in all, a really good match.
Yeah, definitely enjoyed it. Yeah, anything with the tournament right now, I'm into. After that, we've got RJ City with Tony Storm. He asked her how she feels. Um, she said she partied well into the evening, spent a little time at the compound. JFK was there, or one of the Kennedys. She feels fatigued, dehydrated, and she has a touch of the gout. Uh, he asks her if she's worried about her title match and says she will be fine. She then asks RJ to take off her shoes, and the crowd cheers.
Oh, apparently they're in a foot fetish market.
Yeah. That's what we're
Uh,
dealing with.
Taz though, come on, gotta watch out for that gout. Oh, he cracks me up.
Taz is
Yeah.
Taz is a treat. You know me, I've been a big fan of this timeless Tony Storm stuff. I literally don't have anything to say about this. I, I have nothing to add, nothing to take away. It's just put her
Yeah.
feet out there, and she will have
Yeah.
a match. I think they said she's defending her title next Wednesday, but didn't say who.
I mean, Sakura,
Not against it.
she's the go-to.
I mean, I think Tony Storm just beat her at the Rampage before Full Gear, but maybe.
Uh, yeah. Fun stuff. Tony Storm, what a treat. All right, after that we get MJF with a cane and a pretty bad limp coming to the ring. He says he doesn't like Samoa Joe personally, but respects him professionally. He discovered TNA and found out about Samoa Joe. Uh, Says Samoa Joe's the baddest man walking on God's green earth. Uh, let's see. He says his talents were not fully recognized later on in his career and not afforded the opportunity to be a world champion in the WWE. He puts over Samoa Joe. He says Joe paved the way for MJF and AEW, and he gave him a big thank you. He says it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. And uh, if Joe wants to if Joe wants to take his belt, he'll have to put him down. Uh, yeah, then we get the strobe lights kicking in. I thought that was kind of a cool, different thing to do than the blackout. That was kind of neat. Uh, I'm gonna call them for now the Devil Gang. The Devil Gang show up and try to jump MJF. One of them has a bat. They have MJF held down. Samoa Joe comes out and they scatter. On the screen, the following words appear. In the shadows, our game begins. Next week, MJF and Samoa Joe. Will you face the unknown in a tag match? Are you a hero, Max? MJF agrees to the tag match next week. We got MJF saying that this is an internal matter, and the Devil Gang has the capabilities to tap into our lighting and broadcast system. Damn, okay. Things are getting real. um, is this our modern day version of this ad has been paid for by the New World Order?
I
It's
don't
the
know.
higher power.
Yeah, it almost feels like the anonymous Raw GM.
No, get that out of your mouth. Get that out of your mouth.
It was
Hornswoggle will
Hornswoggle
not
all
taint.
along.
I have to deal with Paul White, Jericho, and Ric Flair and the Hardys. Don't put flipping Hornswoggle in this. Back to the promo. Chad, what did you think?
So for me, this was two very different segments. You got MJF in contrast to the whole Jay White thing, where it was all kind of convoluted and stuff. I'm just going to do a simple face promo. It was just, he built the living heck out of his opponent, and then it's like, I have to beat this guy, and it felt very cool to me, authentic. I loved it. And then the devil stuff happened, and I don't know, maybe it's too little too late. I'm like, oh god, I hope they're wrapping this up soon. My belief was not suspended in the least. Like, at one point they mentioned AEW IT security team. Really? They don't have a security team. It's probably Bryce Rensburg with a computer watching YouTube videos.
What about the Grapple Sauce IT security team, huh? Everyone's got it. So does AEW.
Yeah. Like, oh man, like, I don't know. I'd almost wish kind of like the Creepers, they just drop it and never mention it again. Because like I feel like the first bit, I was like, this is what I want. I would just want a cool, simple feud. It's gonna be an awesome match. Shoot, the lights went out. Here we go. How about you, Chandler? How'd you feel on this thing?
I hate to say it, I don't really care. Like, Samoa Joe has a title match at the next pay-per-view, so I should be over the moon. But like, I'm looking at my calendar here. We got a month until that match. And I don't really care about anything that's going to happen in between. Like, okay, they're possibly going to unmask 2 people next week. I just don't think I care. Like, and it's not like I'm expecting big names. It's just, what, like, who's it going to be? Is it going to be Jungle Boy? That's lame. Is it going to be Adam Cole? That's lame. Is it going to be
Predictable.
Yeah, like Will Ospreay? Like, there's like very few names you could do, and I don't want to expect
Rafa
that.
Ali.
He still has a non-compete clause, so he's not an option until like mid-December. Same with all those other WWE guys. So
So
I
he could reveal at World's End.
maybe I'm just at the point where, like, here's my plan, right? MJF is injured. We don't know how long, but he's injured. So you just have Joe take the title off of him, hold it for a month. Then maybe not a month, but at Revolution, Swerve beats him. There you go. Joe gets a little itty bitty run, and it would arguably not damage Joe because this is probably his last world title run. He gets a little bit, get some good TV matches. Swerve beats him. That way, you keep that Swerve MJF match protected. MJF gets to heel. Like, I don't think that's going to happen. I have a bad feeling MJF is just going to win, but that's what I would do if I were booking this. But again, I don't know how truly bad his injury is. How did you feel about these 2 segments, Dave?
Yeah, I'm with Chad. Like the whole babyface promo and building up Joe and coming back with like, despite all that, you're never gonna beat me. Uh yeah, and then we got the apple dumpling gang over here, uh pulling some kitty stuff that, yeah, I just it kind of I'm lost, or it lost me, I guess.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
and another
yeah,
thing. What's okay? So like there's sneak attacking, guerrilla warfare guys, and then it's like, but I challenge you to an honest to God tag team match. It's just, yeah, I don't know.
That's
Like,
that's what all of them do. All these bad, crappy, uh, hidden tag team groups, they all do that. Retribution did that. Aces and Eights did that in TNA. So yeah, that's stupid. And it's also like this is four guys, and it took one Samoan Joseph to beat them all. Like I love Samoa Joe. That's a little too much. Like it's 4-on-2.
is he in on it?
I don't care. I just want to see the match at this point. I hate to be that negative because I really am like trust me, I really am excited about the Continental Classic. I really am looking forward to all the future matches. I don't really care about the world title scene right now, even though it's MJF and Samoa Joe. I just I just don't really care.
Yeah, I think the only division I could care less about would be the tag team division. Like, what are we doing?
Well, the Golden Jets have that tag title shot. They're gonna get that any day now.
They are. They are. They're winning. Uh, so yeah, after that weird the Devil Dumpling Gang tried to jump
that's the name
MJF.
right there.
Uh we got Tony Khan officially approving the tag match. Then we got Wardlow versus AR Fox. I don't know why, but Wardlow had hat head. It looked like he had maybe something covering his head.
I think he just got up
Uh,
from a nap. He was sleepy.
yeah, I don't know what that could be all about. But we got AR Fox kicking Wardlow in his head and diving on him twice before the bell even rang. We got Wardlow getting AR in the ring. We get a big Beal to AR Fox, a 450 splash to Wardlow for only a 1 count. We get 2 power bombs, a senton splash, and a last ride power bomb to AR Fox, and the ref had to stop the match. Uh, that was probably the most challenge Wardlow's had in, well, since he came back anyway. Uh, but yeah, definitely part of the Devil Dumpling Gang for sure. With that hat head, uh, yeah, there's no universe where he's not part of that, right, guys?
Yeah, I think his kind of like solo world title run has kind of gone cold already. And one of those Devil Dumpling Gang guys, have used as you have been calling them, does look a bit bigger and tall. It just does feel a little bit weird, like for someone to be so close to MJF and like personal, like tied with him, and he's just kind of a lackey for this Devil Dumpling Gang. What do you think, Chad?
Uh, Actually, yeah, that is a good point. It is hard to see him being a goon yet again. Uh, I don't know. I gotta let this play out a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. My action notes about the actual match were almost a haiku. Actually, just says AR starts quick. I hope this is competitive. It was not.
I did like the beginning where he's jumping on him and hitting 450s, and then like Wardlow just threw him across the ring, and I was like, oh, it's over. But I will say I do like that. I mean, I don't know if he's always done this, but Wardlow doesn't really pin him. He just beats him until the ref is like, all right, that's enough.
Yeah,
Get it out.
they need to get the Ralph Wiggum. Stop it! He's had enough.
He's
Uh,
already dead. Maybe.
Uh, yeah. Um, But yeah, real quick, it looks like in our live chat we've got about 41,000 people watching live, and not very many likes or comments. I'm kidding. There aren't any people watching us.
I was
But
like, you guys didn't set up Twitch, did you?
one day, one day. But yeah, apart from my little joke there, yeah, give us a like, comment on our video. Uh, and if you're feeling really, really generous, subscribe to us.
Oh, I thought he was going to ask for
Cl-
money.
click that bell. Figure out when we've got our next video coming up. We like to premiere a video not every single day, but almost every day. Yeah, we'll review mainly Dynamite, Collision. We've been dabbling a little bit with WWE, with the CM Punk revelation. That seems to be what a lot of people want to know and hear about out there. But yeah, thank you for watching our video. Definitely, like I said, like, subscribe, comment.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Speaking of other content too, um, the Roseland Seven's coming up in a little over a month. We should definitely do a review show on that because, dude, it's looking like a fire show now. Sky
yeah,
Blue, Alex Shelley.
Prestige Wrestling. Yeah, our local wrestling promotion that we've been going to for a couple years now, right, Chad?
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, um,
yeah. Our
yeah,
first show was Roseland 2, actually.
yep, yeah. Um, yeah, I was kind of messing around on Twitter and I came across a promo from Drexel calling out Amira.
Yeah, they
It
signed
was
it.
yeah, it was really cool. Like, it showed literally her in the crowd. She was a fan at Roseland 1 in front row, had never been to a wrestling show in her life. And they got footage of her there. And yeah, and now she's literally wrestling Drexel. So
She was ring crew for a while. We got to chant at her "Sweet Forever."
yep.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
Yeah, they had all kinds of debris in that ring from that crazy match. And I love that venue. The Roseland for wrestling is sweet. Too sweet.
Oh, oh,
Yeah.
oh! I get that reference. I get that.
So yeah. After that we get a little um little scary footage of Dante Martin's leg break. They actually showed the wiggly floppy leg injury that happened at Ring of Honor, doing a Canadian Destroyer onto a ladder. I think Penta did it to Dante Martin or the other way around. I can't remember.
Penta did it to
But
him.
okay. But yeah, it showed the flippy floppy uh, leg. Um, yeah, definitely. That kind of reminds me, you guys should check out our, we'll put it up right here or here, a video about pretty serious sports injuries that we covered not too long ago. Uh, yeah, pretty brutal.
Talked about
Uh,
Sid Vicious, that silly little goober. Had a great time.
yeah, little UFC shenanigans. Uh, but yeah, check that video out too. Let's see, we've got Top Flight, Action Andretti versus the Hardys and Brother Zay. Um, looks like Dante Martin put on a little bit of muscle mass. I know, Chandler, you had never seen him before, probably at all, but did you kind of notice that, Chad? Like, he had a broken leg, so he can clearly just like
Yeah, that's
combine it on
actually
his like
Actually, yeah, that's what Chris Statlander actually said that happened to her when she went out with the knee injury on I think AEW Unrestricted. She was like, "Yeah, once I got over feeling sorry for myself, and she's like, all I could do was work the top." So all of a sudden, she came out of that injury, and she's just had those big, broad shoulders. And yeah, I think it's probably the same thing for him, which is, well, can't do anything with this, so he just probably started lifting a ton of weights. Yeah, it's funny when people go away and come back and come, they're always all swole. Randy Orton, too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Uh, but yeah, what did you guys think of the match?
Um, Crazy spot fest. You got two high flying. The Hardys are definitely watered down and not in their prime, clearly, but they put on a good show. Um, I did. I had a funny feeling when the match started. I'm like, man, Brother Zay is wearing a private party gear. We're gonna get Mark Quinn returning tonight, but no, it didn't happen. I heard he's cleared and ready to go.
Oh, cool.
I want some private party back in my
Yeah,
life,
Private Party versus Top Flight. No
yeah,
trios, just oh my gosh.
dude. Yeah, give it to me, please. Um, but yeah, definitely a high flying match. A lot of death defying maneuvers. What do you think of Dante Martin for the first time, Chandler?
You guys are gonna hate me for this, but first off, Top Flight and Action Andretti, all three of those boys, impressive as hell. Look like phenomenal talent. And then, of course, the last time I saw Brothers A, I said, yeah, he looks really good. Before I watched AEW, the one of the biggest criticisms I ever heard was that it was just kind of flippy shit, and it's just guys doing flips all around each other. And at least in my watching, I haven't felt like that. But this match, I kind of felt like, oh, this is just kind of like flips, just to do flips. And they all looked great and they were all performed well. But for me, I was just kind of like, like maybe it was just that I don't like the Hardys and I didn't want to see them go after them. So I didn't really care. But uh, Top Flight, all three of them look fantastic. They're going to be great wrestlers. They just seem like the blandest people on earth. So,
Yeah, kind of like when we were talking about Strickland, how he can do athletic, cool stuff, but his stuff all looks like motivated and real. And then you have the other side of the coin, which is you've got these really athletic guys, and it feels more like Cirque du Soleil. It's just, wow, that's really pretty, but it's also very unbelievable, scripted looking because, oh, he's got to scoot over to get in a position for this. And yeah, it's kind of funny how there's almost sort of two ways to go about that crazy athletic thing. And yeah,
I
like,
say that. Oh, but
oh, go
next
ahead.
week, where they teased the next triple or
Oh,
three
that's
man.
gonna be incredible.
Oh, I don't care. That's gonna be the dumbest shit ever. I'm gonna eat every second of that up. So I just wanted to like point that in there. Like, yeah, this match I didn't really care about, but whatever they do that 6-man tag, I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah.
shit my pants.
I mean, like, but Penta has that. He can do the weirdest, most wild stuff, but it's still it to me. It still always feels super impactful, and he's just so good at it. He makes it look like legit. Like, there's no reason he should be able to do 700 spins in the air and make it look as cool as it does. Like that dude's definitely got a generational skill. So, but yeah, the chance for those two teams to mix it up, you're right. You'll probably be like, "Huh, I don't even care that this is like a John Woo film. This is dope."
This week, all my notes were flippy shit but bad. Next week, it's gonna be flippy shit but good.
Yeah. No, that's funny. My thing, because usually I just have like the match title at the top of whatever section we're on. This one says trios kind of don't care. But then but it worked as a setup to get you to this thing. You're like, oh, that was kind of cool. Oh no, that's what I want. Like, if that was their intent, they did it well.
hmm I would agree with that.
Um, Looks like Darius Martin, Dante Martin, and Action Andretti end up winning with Darius in action. doing a shotgun drop kick on um, Brother Zay. And then we get a spinning Uranagi from Dante Martin to Brother Zay for the win. Backstage, we got Penta, Commander, and El Vikingo challenging them for that three-way match. And that is what we were all waiting to see. El Vikingo is going to be, I don't know, Rey Mysterio level legend, I think, if he can stay healthy.
I wonder if the Fed will make a big poll whenever his contract is he with Double A right now or Triple A or with CMLL?
AAA.
Whenever his contract is
AAA.
done with Triple A, is he going to stay there? Is he going to go to AEW? Is he going to get picked up by WWE?
I'll probably go to AEW. I would, if I had to put money on it.
Yeah, yeah. Although WWE has been, they got what Dragon Lee, so like they're getting some similar type of talent coming over. So it's always nice when the land of the giants gets a little more broad.
Yeah. One of the best people working right now is Gunther. He wrestles like no one else alive. That's probably a stretch, but one of the best currently. So
Yeah, amazing intercontinental run right now too. And he beat the snot out of the Miz, so that always makes me happy.
that match was 5+ stars. 6.25.
Dude with the most punchable face. Yeah. Let's just rail him with chops for 10 minutes.
My favorite thing about Gunther matches is like, unless it's like a top tier, like the one with Sheamus or the triple threat, there's a point where it's like 10 minutes in and he's like, all right, I'm over this. And he just like batters them as hard as he can. It's like 2 moves in a row and then just pins them or like forces a tap out. He's one of the best alive.
Yeah, he did a podcast a while ago, and it was really strange hearing him talk out of character. He's such like just a nice, lovable, humble guy, and I was just like, I don't like this. I know this is the real one, but I want the fake one.
Where's the ring general? Not the man behind the ring general.
Yeah, he's just so nice. And he's like, I know my job. It's to be the big guy and eventually be overcome, and I don't mind losing. And I'm like, shut up. I don't want to hear this.
Wait, he doesn't mind losing. When's the last time he lost? When? Anyway, back to AEW because
Dave is derailed there.
Dave
It
is
was just a
crying.
real weird weekend.
Dave is like, please, Gunther, go to AEW. That would be fucking insane. Flipping insane. Could you imagine Gunther in AEW?
I'd rather have KO.
Ooh.
Kevin Owens?
Yeah.
Wow.
Only if El Generico came with him.
Yep. I want the what's the Mount Rushmore faction with the Bucks and Cole?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that. I'm gonna take your word for it.
Ring of Honor, old stuff. But yeah, back to AEW. We've got a TBS championship title defense. Julia Hart versus Emi Sakura. We're doing the house rules again. This is a no submission match. Julia looks tough, aggressive. We get Emi Sakura doing her patented big cross body to her opponent against the steel steps. I think I've seen her do that to every opponent she's had in the past month or two. Love it. Emi Sakura is tried and true, a ring veteran, so powerful. I love that delayed shoulder breaker.
Yeah.
Is that she does? Good Lord, man, the power. But she was no match for Julia. We did get a botched moonsault from Julia. She is pulling her opponent too close to the corner to where they have to like Emmy knew it and she tried to like roll over, but it still just looked off and they tried to play it off like, oh, Emmy tried to get out of the way, but it got her anyway. Like, yeah, do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like she
Yeah.
needs to
Yeah, I thought
the
they were gonna
placement.
I thought they were gonna go for like a completely different finish because the house rules was no submissions. You can't win via it. So I thought when she put Emmy in the Heartless lock and Albry was kind of getting in her face, I was like, that would be a really good finish to have her pass out in the lock and then Julia just pins her after that. Like you tapped out. I did not win. I still beat you. That would have been a really cool finish. And then that kind of botched with the moonsault. So it was a little odd, but I mean, moonsault is a very hard move to hit, and hopefully she just kind of learns from it. Like, all right, I'm just they're too close to the corner. I'm just got to put them out. What do you think, Chad?
Oh man, I was really just enjoying listening to you. I kind of want you to book some shows for me. Maybe we could animate it or something. It'd be
Ooh,
really cool.
I'm sorry. Wouldn't that be a cool finish? You can do
That
so
no,
much with
I
this house rule
I
stuff.
love your finish. And it would have made it from like her being like, oh man, she's like such a good wrestler now. She's improving to oh crap, like
She's scary.
that's a force to be reckoned with.
It could
Uh,
really like put over the heartless maneuver. Like if she gets it into you, like she's gonna hold it until you pass out. So don't get into it.
yeah, darn, I really want your version of the match now. But I loved it. It was funny. Earlier in the day, I was listening to What Culture's preview, and by the time they were doing their preview, they still hadn't announced what the match would be yet. So they're like, I don't know, it'll probably be an Amy Sakura match of some sort. So when she came out, I was laughing. But she's kind of becoming my favorite. Like, well, nothing going on, throw her on because she's like just amazing. Her when she did her sort of Freddie Mercury gimmick, I didn't know that person was under there. Oh man. So I had
She's
a hard time taking her serious, and now I'm like, ooh, she's scary.
she kind of took that place of Serena Deeb. I feel
Yeah.
like just plug her in
Would you
when
hear
you don't have much.
she's been dealing with something? Like she had,
Yeah,
I think
all these rumors of backstage heat were bullshit, according to her.
no, did you
She was having seizures.
yeah, okay, so you guys know. Yeah, she was having like
Yeah,
full on seizures and they're working to is she cleared or is she almost
cleared,
cleared?
cleared.
Yeah, that's good.
There was no booking issues. There were no backstage heat. It was all medical, and the internet wrestling community had to, assume things and
Well,
all that.
that
So
was the case with Bray Wyatt because he was setting up a feud for Mania and then he disappeared. And typically, with an injury or anything, they'll go, "Oh, he broke his arm, he broke his foot," but they just said it's a sickness, and they didn't say anything, and nobody knew, and nobody, the public did not know until he passed. So, and everyone was like, "Oh, is it booking? Do people not like him? No one wants to work with him." No, he just got sick, and
Yeah.
you know people don't like that in the social media age, but people's health is not your problem. Like,
Yeah.
just it's the same thing with Malachi Black, where he just was like, no, I just need
yeah,
to take a few weeks off. I got some family shit. I got some important things to work on. So, you know, if only these wrestlers could come out and say, I'm going to be away for a little bit. Please respect my privacy. Only the Bucks do that when they're heels, but I don't know. At least she's
like
coming
like
back.
with the
Yeah. They all deserve an off season.
like with the whole CM Punk thing. Like the whole thing is like, ooh, is someone mad at him? Like, did he have some kind of altercation? What do people think about him? And now they're trying to turn an interview with Kevin Owens where they're like, what do you think of CM Punk coming back? And he just had like a real quick, like one sentence kind of
Oh,
answer.
people are dissecting it.
And then they're like, well, what do you think of Randy Orton? Oh, I love him. He's great. And talks for like 5 minutes about Randy Orton. And they're like, oh, well, he must have a problem with Punk. So like it's crazy how it can get out of hand and
Well, that
assumptions. And I guess like technically we're part of the internet wrestling community,
oh
but
yeah.
it it can be so toxic.
Well, something with that, like, I don't know, people just don't think clearly. Like, Kevin Owens and Randy Orton have worked in the same place for 7 years. Kevin Owens and CM Punk, as far as I know, have never worked under the same roof. Maybe Ring of Honor way back in the day, but you get my point here, right? Of course, he's
Mm,
going to have something to say about Randy Orton and not something about CM Punk. Randy Orton has been controversial for 20 years. CM Punk was controversial 2 months ago.
Yeah.
People just don't think
yeah,
clearly when they're on the line.
right. But yeah, I guess we got a little off topic here. But next up, we've got RJ City backstage with Mariah May. She talks about uh, being in stardom and having quite the run. Um, they keep talking about Tony, 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 and I kept thinking they were talking about Tony Storm, but they're talking about Tony Khan. Uh, Mariah May did the kind of like weird like coming on to him thing again. I don't know. I'm loving it. Uh, but yeah, she goes into Tony Khan's office, I assume, to try to get her first match. I haven't actually watched any of her matches, and I'm probably gonna assign myself a little homework to be a little prepared before I watch her first AEW match. Um, but yeah, from everything I've heard and read, she's pretty damn good. So yeah,
Yeah.
bring it on. And
So yeah, same. I'm not super familiar with her, but the things I have heard, it's like, ooh, she's gonna have some bangers.
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm excited to see her wrestle. I have nothing to say about like the promo or segment, but if it just means that she's going to wrestle soon, I'd love to see what she's made of.
yeah. Right after that, we get Christian Cage in the ring. At first, he has security. Calls out Adam Copeland to come to the ring. Uh, Ends up sending the security away. He ends up telling Adam Copeland that he's sorry. Uh, the crowd chants bullshit. He tries to manipulate Adam Copeland, bringing up their childhood and uh, his father taking him in, and brings up Adam Copeland's mother passing away. Um, Christian Cage goes to hit Adam Copeland with the TNT title, but Copeland kicks him in the balls. And he tells Christian Cage to GFY. Uh, yeah, did that come through on your feed, Chad? It sounded like they caught it late.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like,
The censor happened like way after. Yeah, that
yeah,
was
like they tried, they meant to, right?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I heard I think I heard on the East Coast feed they completely missed it, then they kind of got it better on the West Coast.
That's
But
funny. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I thought it was a pretty good promo between the two. I'm hyped for the TNT title match next week. I'm gonna call him Edge for the rest of my life, but Adam Copeland finally got the receipt with the "Go flip yourself," so that was pretty nice. And I mean, just Christian the entire time trying to be such a smarmy heel, like, "Let's do it as a tag team, just you and me, buddy." And Adam Copeland just saw all through that. So I thought it was a great promo, and you know, with that, and then the tag team match, and then 3 Continental Classic matches, that's gonna be a busy Dynamite next week.
yeah, yeah. It almost feels like they could have another special, like a winter's coming type of thing. It's going to be such a stacked show.
I think that's the week after too.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, that was man, those two are it puts me in a happy spot to see them together. You could tell they're best friends. They just love working with each other. Their chemistry's so good. Like back when I was still on the old WWE network, the Christian and Ed show was I watched that thing uh, pretty religiously. So great to see them actually have a good one on one with some FaceTime.
Mhm.
That just looks at him, dumbass, after he kicks him in the junk.
Yeah.
But according to my advanced math, I think Christian's going to win because Copeland stood tall in that. Or does that only apply to pay per views?
No, I think it's
Mm,
just big matches
no.
in general.
How good would Copeland look with that belt, though? Oh,
Well, Adam Copeland's been wanting to tell the story. Basically, what Ric Flair had in WWE when he retired the first time, where it was, I'll retire when I lose. And so he would win and do whatever he could. And so Adam Copeland's been wanting to do that for a while with a title. Like, I'm going to win this title, I'm going to hold it, and I'll retire when I lose it. So I'm not against it. Like, this is one where genuinely I'm fine with it going either way. But if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick Christian just because he's on such a great run right now. Beating Adam Copeland in Montreal would be a big increase to this.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to have a younger guy beat Christian for it. I don't know which younger guy, but that's just my feeling right now. Like, I feel like that would mean a lot more. But I'm fine with where it goes either way, honestly. I think a big Adam Copeland babyface win would be good.
Yeah. I think having him lose so they could like heat it up to the next level too, and because otherwise it still feels too fast. Like I think they have a lot of story they can tell. So uh,
Maybe Kill Switch and the Prodigy interfere and make Adam lose, and then Christian is fighting some other young upstart, and then Adam causes him to lose, and then they have their blood match in a cage or something.
yeah. And then they have the Cody Dustin finish. They're just both drenched in blood and hug, and then it's tag team time.
Yep.
speaking of drenched in blood, I think I like where you were going with Kill Switch and Nick Wayne interfering, blah blah blah. It should be Gangrel interfering.
People have been wanting him to come back for years. It was
He
really
still
like
wrestles.
it was really rumored that he would be at Edge's entrance this year at WrestleMania. Like everyone thought he was gonna do it, but I don't know. Maybe he'll come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't wasn't he gonna come out for AEW and then Edge did the Brood thing and in WWE, then they canceled it. They're like,
Is
too
that
soon.
real?
Yeah,
Really? Why haven't they done anything with Gangrel since then?
they did a
Oh,
couple
well.
small things.
Oh,
What
there's
do you-
time.
He was on
There's
the
time.
deletion, one of the Hardys videos.
The
Mm.
cinematic Hardy compound match. Um, but yeah, I think that would be nice. Yeah, there's plenty of time for him to come in and give us that nostalgia hit we crave. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the match in Montreal. What's Montreal like, Chad?
You know, I have a lot of preconceived notions, but I've never actually been. But French Canada is a very interesting place, very artsy and darn good food though. Poutine, smoked meat sandwiches. If you remember, I made that for you guys. The Tragically Hip. That's what it was actually based off of Montreal thing.
Wow,
Yummy house-made pastrami sandwich. That thing was dope.
Ooh.
people loved it.
But anyways, yeah, very much looking forward to that. What happened next?
Well, we've got our main event, Gold League, for the Continental Classic. Jay White versus Swerve Strickland. I love how it felt like a fresh matchup. I feel like they were definitely evenly matched. Um, did anyone catch that weird moment when Swerve kind of threw Jay White over the guardrail and that one weird fan was like grabbing him
Yeah,
and
that
the
was
security had to come up and yelled at him?
when I watched it for a second. I was like, "Is that a plant? Like he's just not letting him go." But no, Swerve was like, "Hey man, like let him back."
Yeah, I wrote that down. I wanted to mention it. But I feel like that when the match really started to heat up and get really good is when Swerve uh, like back to back hit a Tierras, a flatliner, and a vertical suplex for a 2 count. Just smooth, fluid motion into each move. The way he like can like I don't know, it's like a martial art like flow. He can just go to move and just like unbelievable. Like I'm such a sort of fan now. I can't even handle it. Uh, uh, we get Jay White getting a 2 count from a beautiful Uranagi. We get Swerve snapping the arm of Jay White. Love that move. There's something going on that they've got snapping that they time with that under the ring, or someone in the crowd has something. Do you hear that?
Oh yeah,
I've heard
timekeeper's
that.
just got some celery. They just go right as soon as he
There's
does it.
something. There's something they got that I hear a snap, but which is cool. I like how they play into that. Uh, we get a swerve stomp onto Jay White for 2.99. Like I thought he had it. Like that's his finisher basically. And we get Jay White hitting a Blade Runner out of nowhere. Um, Swerve rolls out of the ring. That kind of reminded me of how the stigma around DDP and the Diamond Cutter. He could hit that puppy out of nowhere in any angle, any way, and that kind of like man, he can hit that Blade Runner literally out of nowhere, and I kind of appreciated that. Um, then we got Swerve winning with a beautiful rolling counter to another Blade Runner. Uh, Jay White was definitely in shock. Uh, Swerve won it clean, 1, 2, 3 in the ring. Uh, Great match. Again, fresh matchup. We really need a big, take all the talent, shake them up, and let's get a new bunch of feuds, and we're getting it now. So yeah, nothing but good things to say about it. I want Swerve to be world champ, and I want Jay White to win the Continental Classic. Thoughts, gentlemen?
I agree. If you had told me like 2 weeks ago, or even just before, right before Full Gear, that they're gonna do Swerve and Jay White, I'd be like, oh, that'd be good Swerve match. I don't really care, but I think as soon as they were like hot announcing it and they were getting up to it, I was like, I'm really excited for this match. Like, I think that's what makes this tournament so great is we're seeing all these matches that we weren't gonna see anytime soon. I mean, guys, in the next weeks, we're gonna get Swerve and Roosh, Swerve and Mox, and Swerve and Briscoe. I don't know. That's pretty good couple weeks coming up. That's just one guy wrestling three other guys. I'm ignoring the other show here, and I'm ignoring all the other matches, but you get my point. Like, we got a good couple weeks coming up. So yeah, this part of the Continental Classic, I'm absolutely loving. And of course, Swerve looked fantastic. Jay White looked fantastic. I think my favorite part, I mean, I don't know, just the entire match looked great. Uh, Jay White's deadlift German suplexes. I don't know, something different about them. They're great. What did you think about this match, Chad?
Oh yeah, like for all the reasons you did. One of the things that really struck me, which I thought was such a cool idea, was having Brian Danielson do commentary on all of the tournament matches. I hope they keep that with a different wrestler in the tournament every week. That'd be kind of dope. But he added so much to this match in particular. Just him like being able to like be credible in how he deconstructed, like pointing out like Swerve beat the defensive Jay White with a defensive move, and you're like, oh yeah, like kind of it makes you like appreciate everything even a little more. So yeah, I thought like nothing but home runs on this week's Continental Classic ones. And yeah, like you said, it's snowballing into so many more stories and stuff to go on. And yeah, like you said, not just the next few weeks, like this hopefully snowball into months and months worth of good content. How about you, Dave?
Um, yeah, I agree for sure. Yeah, this should be quite the feud maker of a tournament here. And did I catch it correctly that the two competitors with the two highest scores will wrestle each other,
Yeah.
and then those two will each wrestle
Yeah,
each other,
so
the blue league and the gold league.
Is that how they're doing
What
it?
yeah,
Oh,
they explained that tonight, right?
yes, yeah.
Or
so Swerve and
last
Mox
night?
next week? Wow.
Well,
Well,
right,
after
or
everybody's
was
fought
that?
everybody, they have to get through the whole round
Yeah,
robin first.
yeah,
Oh, so
yeah.
they do the round robin, and then
Yeah,
after the
the
round robin,
the 2 points leaders have a
Love it,
semifinals match to get into the finals.
I
love
like
it,
that. I like that.
So
love
yeah,
it.
Okay.
you you definitely have at least one rematch in there too.
I missed that. That's really cool. Man,
Yeah,
I will love it's gonna be like the Roman and Cody match from this year. I'm gonna love every single second of this tournament until the last 30 seconds. And then I'm gonna go, all right, well,
Well,
what's next?
Mania 40 it is.
Yeah, baby. He'll
Unless
finish the
unless The
story
Rock
soon.
comes out.
I'm not joking. You know how much it depresses me when a lot of people are saying, "Oh yeah, Mania 41," and I
Like
kind of
I
believe them.
like emotionally, I don't know if I could do another year of this.
I think they're gonna have Reigns beat Hogan's record, and I don't care, but that's what they're gonna do. So AEW, woohoo!
oh man. Uh, yeah. Do we have any other topics that have been in the news the past couple days that kind of have resonated? I know we got some QT Marshall
I was
resignation news.
was just gonna bring up the next three matches for Collision if anyone wanted to know.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
course, we have Danielson versus Kingston. That's the only one they were like, "Hey, this match is happening." We also have Garcia versus Andrade. So this will be Andrade's first match in the Classic. And then the two winners from last week, Claudio versus Brody King. So
Oh my god.
I think Collision might be a good show this Saturday. Just a funny
I
feeling.
don't know.
We're gonna get Brody Bryan Danielson.
We're
That
gonna
No
is
get
other
Claudio
matches.
Brian
yeah.
Danielson. Can you believe that one?
Damn.
Wow.
I think I think that one's Claudio will win. I hate to say it. I think Claudio's gonna win that one. I've been saying Brian's going to do a
With
clean sweep, but if they're looking to build the next generation, and I don't know how old Claudio is, but I mean,
Uh,
he's not the one retiring.
yeah. But yeah, cool. Yeah. Good good call mentioning the Blue League matches coming up.
I'm gonna try to.
Um
I'll try to write him down because they do announce them when they get to the main event,
yeah.
but just to
yeah,
have them.
I try to too. I just don't remember every time. Um
Other
but
than
yeah,
that,
we got uh Just
I was
gonna
just
talk about QT Marshall,
yes, sir.
my favorite AEW talent, producer, and trainer.
Cute.
QTV will no longer be on AEW television. I'm crushed.
I never got to see a single episode. He just came back and said, "Hey guys, QT Marshall's back." And
I'm
then,
gonna wrestle luchadors now.
well,
what will Aaron Solo do now?
who?
Yeah, right. Who? He's
Is
been
Anthony
QT
Gogo ever
Marshall's
coming back?
lackey. Who knows? He's legally blind in one eye. I know that.
A go-go?
Yeah.
Was it something that
Um,
happened in wrestling or just something happened?
he was a boxer before he was a wrestler, an Olympic boxer, I believe,
Was
for
he legally blind
England.
before he started AEW?
Yeah, in one eye.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was weird they didn't feature him at all in All In. So yeah, that would have been the place. Yeah, so no more QT Marshall. Um, and we got, I believe, Serena Deeb cleared to wrestle.
Yeah, that'll be good to see some of the matchups. She's been gone for a while. There's definitely a lot of new things they can do with her. New people she can humiliate.
Do you want heel or face Serena Deeb,
Oh,
Chad?
Heel 1,000%. She is one scary person, and I love it. Did yeah?
You,
I guess you didn't really get to see much of that, huh, Chandler?
Not in she wasn't in WWE for a long time, or she wasn't featured for a long time, and when I started watching, she was nowhere near AEW. So
Maybe she'll try to make the jump, and they can restart the Straight Edge Society.
you already got Luke Gallows and CM Punk. That's
Yeah.
2/3.
yeah, man, I thought it was going to go the other way. I thought they were going to do it in AEW. They were all kind of there for a little bit.
They were in TNA for a bit, right? Or New Japan, or what? Like they were just kind of mucking around the
Yeah,
non WWE scene, and then
they were
AJ was
part of
like,
the
they were part of the what?
yeah the
Mexican
elite.
standoff.
Ooh.
Yeah, and Bullet Club.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, that's what we got going on. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. We need your support. We want to keep bringing you content and fun, entertaining videos. Uh, spicy food, sour food, weird challenges. Uh, we decided that the next pay-per-view, we're just gonna kick each other in the nuts.
Whoa,
Uh,
whoa, whoa,
no,
whoa,
I'm
whoa!
kidding.
I
Wait,
don't
oh,
remember
wait, oh yeah,
that.
we didn't. Oh yeah, we
I
didn't
thought we were
decide
giving
that.
like to Ric Flair. I want to do that.
Rochambeauing?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, uh, check out our video. It'll be right here, or maybe here, or here. I don't know. Uh, our Death Nut Challenge, Chad and Chandler couldn't get through the whole 5 bags, but they gave it their all.
Oh
Pussied
yeah.
out. I'm
Did you see
sorry.
the silly version I made of that, Chandler?
I did. It was pretty funny. Thought it was. I mean, it was
uh,
edited really well. It got all the highlights, and it was really good.
And silly music. Gotta love
Mhm.
silly music.
yeah, I liked your bread eating. Just got me.
I needed something. I'm sorry. This shit was spicy. The bread
Keep
didn't help, guys. The bread didn't help.
Cool. All right. I think that'll do it for the show. Yeah. Thank you all for
Oh, ups and
watching.
downs.
Oh
Oh
my
yeah.
We even
gosh.
wrote it down.
Oh my goodness. I didn't write them down, but I
We
already
can't
said.
call it.
Dave introduced the gimmick, then he dropped it like it's the creepers.
I know. I know. All right. Well, yeah. Let me do my high point. Um, you might think it would be Roosh and Mark Briscoe. Then again, you might think my high point might be Jay White and Swerve, but no, 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 no. I liked seeing a human leg snapped in half flopping around on cable television as my high point. It didn't make me queasy. It made me go, yeah. It was weird. It awakened something.
It just
So
became
that
a
was
really big GCW fan somehow.
yeah.
I'm happy
That
for
was my
you,
high
Dave.
point.
I'm happy for you on that one.
And my low point, uh, part of me kind of didn't love that moonsault from Julia Hart, but more so I'm not feeling Ric Flair on AEW television. I don't think it was necessary. I think it was done as a favor to Sting, basically. And Tony Khan's a big Ric Flair mark, and I mean they're apparently really good friends too, and they have been for many years. So,
Did you
uh,
guys see Ric Flair's tweet about all this controversy? Did
Yeah.
you see it, Dave?
how bad is it?
It's like a paragraph long and it's kind of rambly. You want me to read it?
Yeah.
Okay. Finish your part and then Chad, do your high point, low point, and I'll be looking for it. But I'm still listening.
Um, but yeah, Ric Flair low point for sure. Chad.
My high point was Eddie's promo. It was just so well done, and Brian's response. I think both of those were just excellent. And it went for me, it just turned this what I find interesting tournament into something that I'm very emotionally invested in. Between the two guys and their juxtaposition, and all of a sudden I'm like really, really intrigued by this whole thing. I was like, oh man. My low point, I just wrote devil stuff. It's not really doing it for me.
Who are they?
Just all the devil stuff. Or yeah,
Devil Dumpling
the devil
Gang.
dumpling
You
gang.
can't forget them, Chad. Come on. It's best name ever.
It is a really good name, and it's alliterative. Don't know how that. I guess I'm getting old. Look at all this gray. I'm old.
It's better than the union of people you ought to respect, Shane. All right. So here's the tweet. Ric Flair posted this, I want to say today at 2:43. So this was not that long ago. I'm so tired of hearing all this negativity. By the way, every word is capitalized. So I'm so tired of hearing all this
Oh.
negativity. I don't need to work and I don't need the money. Can't I simply enjoy being by my dear friend Sting's side for the next few months without so much hatred? Then why did you sign a multi-year contract? Sorry. I know I'm old, but that doesn't mean I can't enjoy life. I have earned the right to do whatever I want. I've earned the right to do whatever I want. Just had to repeat that. And I'm exactly where I want to be. I appreciate everything, Tony Khan, but I'm more than willing to walk away if I'm embarrassing you and your company. All I can say is I'm sorry. So I don't think that's really a resignation, but it's kind of like Tony Khan, if you don't like me, you can fire me, which Tony Khan won't do that.
Fire me! Don't fire me! Fire me! Don't fire me.
I'm at the point where I'm about to make a wager on Ric Flair being Sting's last opponent, but I'm not there yet. I'm like a week out. But my high point was obviously Swerve and Jay. Again, ever since even at the start of Full Gear, I've started to really like Jay White. I think he is a pretty damn good talent. They just had him in a pretty bad story where he didn't look good. And of course, you put him against my second favorite wrestler working. I'm going to like that match. And this match delivered. And then, slight little side note, I mentioned it to these guys earlier, but they've been doing excellent backstage promos with all of these guys afterwards. Like, Swerve had a phenomenal one about him winning, Jay White had a phenomenal one about him losing. So, if you really wanted just a little bit more, like a little promo from these guys, because they're not talking, it's just as good as the Eddie Kingston one. And my low point, just not to dog on Ric Flair, that is the low point. I'll say the Tony Storm segment just because it was kind of a what nothing burger. Like, as much as I love the gimmick and really think it's funny, they just were like, "Oh, it's Toni Storm. She took her feet out," and the crowd cheered. Which I don't have a foot fetish, so unfortunately, I didn't cheer. But that would be my high and low for the night. But all in all, a good episode of Dynamite. Like, great matches.
Flew by.
Yeah. Yeah. Really well paced show.
Yeah. Another one in the books. Yeah, again, I like that we're coming off of Full Gear. We're got a little fresh shuffle. I'm looking forward to find out who Keith Lee is going after. And yeah, the Devil Dumpling Gang is not doing it for me.
What are you gonna do when
It'll
they
just be
unmask next week and it's like Ric Flair and Steamboat, or like,
ooh,
or like Hogan and
the Dudley
Nash?
Boys.
What if it's like a full blown NWO invasion and it's like Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, who else was in it that's still alive?
X-Pac.
X-Pac. Ugh, I think that would be the worst.
All white.
Everyone says
All
Tony
white.
Khan. Everyone says
really,
Tony.
everybody that's still alive from that era were probably in the NWO at some point.
Yeah.
You know,
Everyone says like
Ric Flair never joined the NWO.
he didn't.
Oddly enough.
He did not. That is a fact that can't be stated and cannot be disputed.
Everyone else did.
Yeah. Even Stinger. Poor Stinger. He didn't know any better.
I have a fond memory of DDP accepting the shirt from Hall and Nash in the ring and then turning and diamond cutting, I think, Hall, then Nash, and escaping. Oh, God, what a freaking era, man. NWO, love it. But yeah, I guess, did we cover it all? Did I forget anything else? I think we got it.
Another good one.
We're on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, all that fun stuff in the audio realm, iHeartRadio. Yeah, I listened to that the other day. It was really enjoyable. We sound all right on there. So yeah, check that out. And cool, I think that'll do it. Thank you for joining us, and everyone have a good one.
Peace.
Bye-bye.